We are also honored to have Dr. Altafullah Khan, Dean of Humanities, with us. Dr. Khan, we would greatly appreciate if you could share your thoughts on the importance of such scholarly gatherings in today's global context.
Thank you. So I'll welcome you all again. Thank you for being here, everybody from Pakistan and abroad. Uh, I'm not a climate expert, so I should begin with that. I just teach communications. But when I think about climate uh, and conferences on climate, there is one thing that I really think about, and it's like we are part of a knowledge production system. Like that's what we do in academics. And one of the important tasks is to transform what we discuss in conferences or in classrooms into something that is useful for people, for the society. And it's one of the basic writing skills that people tell that when you write, you think not about yourself, but about the audience that would receive that information. And I think that's very important in this area. Like climate awareness has risen from being a posh theme some 10 years back into a very important one because people are directly affected by it. And the smog in Lahore has not simply affected health, but also livelihoods. We are living through that. Like 2 weeks back, you couldn't even walk clearly in any place. You couldn't go out, you are staying indoors. But the problem here is that most of the time, whatever we discuss here, and I'm not blaming us or anybody, it doesn't go down into what we call the system of journalism. And I think that's very important. And it's also important that whatever we do is understood by people. Like recently, we are looking at causes for why is Lahore so smoggy, why it's difficult to breathe, and we are naming and blaming a few things about it, like some smoke coming from another country, industry, one of the worst victims are educational institutions. You close down into educational institutions because they are producing a lot of smog, which they don't. They don't walk, they are just there. When we close schools for children, that's understandable because their life is affected, they're small. Then we close down universities. In 3 days, we open universities again. And we think because we closed universities for 3 days, the smog is over. Reasons are different. For example, industrial pollution, which is really affecting the city, is never discussed very clearly. It's very important to discuss that. And it's also a failure of governance, I must say. Like smog is not a new issue, or climate deterioration is not a new issue. And as we all know that when there is a failure of governance, somewhere lies somebody is not doing their job rightly. We can call it corruption, we can call it failure to do your job or not understand your responsibilities. So that's something that we need to discuss in the media. Now, when we come to the media, I must say that for media it's important. Uh, Politics is important. Politics has always remained a very important theme in Pakistan because it's celebrity talk. You talk important people, you get statements, you review them, and you talk about those. But human life is becoming more complicated. People's livelihood are being affected, and there are themes that need our attention. And I think that's very important for us. I think it's very important for us to move into the system of journalism and in-depth analyze what the climate crisis is and how can we get out of it. And also, we have to understand that there are no short-term solutions. It's pessimistic to say that we have lost a lot of time, we didn't manage to address the issue properly, but that's no way to live. We have to really understand what we can do. Like when we say we should grow more trees, we should also keep in mind that somebody is just chopping down trees to build housing societies. And when we say that there shouldn't be industrial pollution, we have to really name people who are responsible for industrial pollution. Where is the industry? Which industry? Like a common person in the street would say, there are more tandoors, like where you you make bread, and you can't tell that person that it's not because of the tandoors that Peshawar Lahore is getting all this smog. But I think it's very important for me and for us all to make an effort. The system of journalism. And I'm really happy that Dr. Bushra is here. MCAP is here, which is an organization that brings academics and professionals together. And I really appreciate the whole effort. I didn't remember that it's 10 years now. Yeah, it's a long journey. So I think we need those platforms too, where we can really decipher what we discuss. I'm not saying that whatever academics we do is not understandable, but it should be intelligible for the society, for every common person, because the top-down way of dealing with problems is never successful in a democracy. You have to develop a bottom-up approach, and a bottom-up approach is only possible when people know about something and they know about the problems and they can understand it. And as journalists or journalism professionals or professors, we are bound to make that effort. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you all a very good conference.